And welcome everybody to Locked On Lads TV. It's Peter Wilkinson. I'm here tonight with ANZCAR Thunder. We're off a little bit early, but that's okay. We are going to Road America tonight, thanks to 24/7 Sim Services. If all your sim service needs, from race control to all the other kind of stuff, go check them out on their Facebook page. Just search up 24/7 Sim Services. Jonathan Hancock and the crew over there will be happy to help you out. But we are here, like I said, ANZCAR Thunder. Round 5 from Road America. We are getting ready, just finishing off the final touches of practice now before we jump into qualifying around this beautiful track that's well known to anyone who's done a little bit of iRacing. This is a track that is always on the rotation somewhere or other. And this is such a nice, fun track. Lots of things to catch these drivers a bit unaware. We've got currently 21 cars in the server. Hamish Gallagher is the fastest one out there on track at the moment with a 2-minute 13. Josh Micklemore's behind him on a 2-minute 14. Andrew Dyson's just sitting down there with a 2-minute 29. I don't think that's relevant to how he'll race tonight. But there is some interesting names here. We've got Kai Turner turning up here. We've got Adam Malone's back, Kobe Jordan's back, Tom Neal's jumping in, Brad Fenley as well. But Ruben Phelps is sitting in 6th, Justin Witcher in 9th, Luke Georgeson in 4th is pretty good at the moment in practice, although Kobe just jumps up to 4th there. Matty Raymond in 3rd at the moment in practice as well. What a beautiful looking track though. There is some very long drafty sections on this track. There is also some very, very heavy braking corners and some really fast flowing corners as well as we go around the track. But it is definitely one of those ones, if you are part of iRacing, you have been here. Such a beautiful track. We go through back on a road track again for ANZCAR, which is quite interesting. Something we're not really, something we would definitely only try and do once or twice a season, but we're here twice in 3 weeks. Which is quite interesting. So, look, we're back to do it again. Locked On Lads, don't forget, check out our Facebook, check out the other YouTube broadcasts we do and our Twitch streams. Hopefully we'll get some more contact coming up soon. The team is going to Watkins Glen this weekend for the 6 hour, so check that one out as well. But everything's happening here with ANZCAR. We're in round 5 of a 12-round season, just trying to bring up the current standings for the league for the Thunder series, as we don't have much change there. 2:13.9 from Hamish is pretty good. Norman Clark's just gone ahead of Tom Neal as we're getting very much to the end of the practice session. There's about a minute 50 left here, so not long at all. But I will have to go to an external link to find the overall standings, which will take me a little bit longer. But yes, 24/7 Sim Services. Definitely go check out that if you are interested in anything for your league. If you want to do a league, you want to set up a race, a promotional race or anything like that, definitely the thing to do. I am waiting. I should have an extra hand here tonight, but I haven't quite got that person sorted out yet. So it's just me. I apologize in advance. Let's go have a look at some of the action that's happening on track, however. So we'll do that, and let's go to who's out there on track right now. The 274 of Luke Georgeson. He's out there going around the mid-section of the track. It is such a beautiful track, like I said. There's such good racing comes out of here. Very heavy braking. Left-handers, scattered throughout this track, and big sweeping right-handers as Luke gets into the big long sweeping right-hander at the moment. This is high speed, low grip. You got to really push it to the edge, because right out of here is the fast section going around the back of the track. Big sweeping right-hander onto the big long, anything but straight. As Luke gets just that little bit of grass, you do have to play very, very nicely with that grass on the outside. It is very easy to do exactly what he just did then. as we go to Norman Clark now on the first of the big long straights after the start finish line. We're heading down into, I think, technically turn 3 or 4 as we get into the end of qualifying. Practice right now. He will not go any further. So let's go back to the blimp. Perfect timing, blimp. Who will be first out on track? You've got a 10-minute qualifying session. You have a 2 and a fairly substantial minute track. So you're talking at about 4 to 5 minutes before you even get through it. Just reading chat. I'm just waiting for this person. We're just trying to hear back at the moment. Sorry for the typing. But yes, we are just about good to go for qualifying. Who's going to be first out on track? I'm not sure, but like I said, there's lots of stuff going on at the moment. I just want to try and get this ANZCAR Thunder. I'm not going to be able to find it quickly off the top of my head. The actual, what do you call it? The standings, but we will have a car coming out on track. We've got Tom Neal, Matthew Raymond going out. Like I said, it's about 5 minutes, and you've got to get a 0x that whole way around. You can go and go for one more lap. I'd say get you through to the 7th, but you're going to be really pushing for that third lap. I think it's only the 2 laps anyway in quali, so these guys need to get 0x's all the way around. They need to not burn up their tyres on this outlap, and they need to have everything ready to go. It's not a huge disadvantage, I guess, starting from the back, but you do not want to be caught up in anything that happens at the end of that long straight. When you come down into, I think it's turn 4 there, a big left-hander, massive braking zone, especially in these Xfinity cars. But it is going to be at a very, very, very exciting race tonight around Road America, as I welcome to the booth. Hopefully his audio is all set and ready to go. Stuart Brown, how you going, mate?
Okay, good, mate. Good. It's I'm blown off the covers tonight with poor old Carl in the world of the wars, but or War of the World, whichever way you want to say it. But I'm back tonight and looking forward to it. To be really honest, this is the first one I've done for quite some time. So keen. And Road America, what a track!
What a track indeed. I was just struggling to explain to people how crazy it's going to be, especially qualifying. But it is really, really good to hear your voice back calling the Thunder. It's something I think the crowd has missed immensely as we go now. Hamish Gallagher is just going into the first turn on his first flying lap. Yes, Lockie in chat is getting very excited that you're back, so welcome back, mate. I want to ask how you've been, because we've got a long lap here. We've got a 2-minute 15, 2-minute 16 lap. How have you been, mate?
Oh, look, it's been absolutely brutal since COVID has let us all get back to a little bit of normal life, and that took over things. So as it would, coaching kids soccer and doing all the things that we probably missed out for 2 years during COVID that allowed me to do this. But so it's been busy, but definitely keen to get back in and get caught up on what's going on here. I see Hamish definitely hasn't changed his stripes, still adorning the old Taylor Swift livery with the Diet Coke on a Wednesday night. So good to see, and I'm assuming that also means his performances probably haven't changed too much either.
No, they haven't indeed. I'm just trying to find the table at the moment. You think ANZCAR make it nice and easy for it to be defined, but they never do.
See, and other things don't change either. I used to dump Carl in the poo with the championship table as well. So maybe we'll. Is this his first lap? Yeah, absolutely, it is.
Yes,
so
it is.
He'll be probably trying to conserve the tyres here. These cars, from what I understand, still enjoy a relatively conservative outlap. Though it looks like he's picked up the pace now, just as he's entering the back third of this circuit, and he'll be getting ready to get started. The exit out of this last section up over the crest, important to get the lap underway really well, and he looks like the 13 is ready to go.
Yeah, he usually is. He never really disappoints with the qualifying. Though, like I said, It's one of those tracks that you've just got to hit that grass slightly the wrong way, and it's either a 1x or which ruins your whole lap, or you put the car into the fence, which also ruins your lap as well. But here we go. We will see as we put up the timing tower just what kind of a lap he can put down. A 2:13.6, slightly faster than he was doing in practice. He was holding back just that little bit. He's not even going to go for a second. He's happy. He's done. He's moving on with it. As we see Josh Mickelmore jump across and goes second on the grid. Let's have a look here. Who we got coming up? The 83 of... I'm trying to find it. Matty Raymond.
It'll be Matty Ray.
Is going to third on the table. Look, things haven't changed since you've got. Matty Raymond always sits himself at the back of the field. This is the first time I've actually seen him up the top of the field in qualifying. And they all seem to be, nah, I've done one. I've had enough. I'm going to go have a break now. So, interesting little strategy.
Got to see whether or not anyone's going to jump out, of course, in the next sort of 10 seconds by the time they get around, if they're going to get that full second lap in. In fact, they'll get to complete that lap. So they've got a little bit of time up their sleeves to see if anyone wants to challenge for top spot. Matty Ray.
Yeah, Matty Ray doing a great job. Nathan Rawlock is just about to come across the finish line here. He has got... he might have got a 1x there because he's not jumping up on my timing tower at all. In fact, it was a 2:18. It is not classed as his best. So that's sort of saying one little mistake can really play a part in your qualifying. He needs to go around again and he needs to make 0 mistakes. But I have managed to find this leaderboard. Here you go. I'm going to read this leaderboard to you, Stu. How much has this changed? Not much, I don't think. But Ryan Jones on top of the table by 2 points over Josh Mickelmore. Then further 2 points back to Hamish Gallagher. And then a further 27 points back to Justin Witcher. Brad Fenley, 5 back from that. Ruben Phelps, another 7 back. Matt Hunter, the man himself, is just 1 point back there in 7th position. Noddy Tompkins, 7 points back there in equal 8th with Stevie Dubb. And rounding out the 10 is Raymond Yeager with Michael Skurlock just sitting slightly outside the 10 in 11th. And Norman Clark, we're on board with at the moment, is sitting in 12th. Some regular names there for you, mate.
Yeah, a few of the regulars. Ryan Jones up the top, a little bit surprising, but not because of capability, but more consistency. So good to see Ryan getting up there and showing everyone what he can do. Certainly a talented driver who can do it. Andrew Dyson, I see, has just popped up on the list there as well on the timing tower. He's one I'm surprised I didn't hear the name of either, but probably focusing on other things this time. Of course, an incredibly talented driver. So, but no, not too much change at all. It certainly with Josh and Hamish up at the top there, a very consistent performance. Of course, Hamish has won this series 2 or 3 times from memory.
He is the defending series champion right now.
There you go. So, yeah, very much one of those who you'd expect to see at the top. So, I'm really keen for tonight. As I said, I was very excited to see it was Road America. I love these things on the circuit. It changes it up a little bit, doesn't it, in terms of who you expect to see at the top, but clearly not too much.
No, that's it. And just out of interest, Ryan Jones is not in the service, so I think he's going to take one of his drop rounds here tonight. He's not even going to bother, and that's the end of him for the night. As we saw, interesting little effort there by who we were just on board with. I think it was Noddy actually. Had a 2... Oh no, he got a plum on the board. He just flicked the grass before he crossed the start-finish line. I thought he'd given up on that lap, but interesting little strategy, but he's not going on any further as we see Norman Clark going over the start-finish line to no avail. Oh no, he did. No, yeah, half a second slower than his previous lap, so... not much. We're going to see Matty Hunter flying around here at the back of the track. He does not have enough time to get a lap in, unfortunately. But Adam Malone may be able to get there, but he's pulled it off as well. That's pretty much the end of it. Ooh.
Field done. So here we go. We're going to get ready. There'll be a little bit of a warm-up lap, of course, coming up for everyone, and then we'll get stuck into it. We've got about 45 seconds to go, mate. In the same way to retort, Wilco, how are things been going with the lads?
The lads, we in the middle of chaos right now. Don't go there. I'm
Okay,
doing
no dramas.
I'm doing 13-hour days at the moment at work, sleeping in the middle of that when I can to try and keep myself awake. 4:45 in the morning start time to 5 o'clock finish time in the afternoon. So yeah, they're not fun days at all.
Full days.
Yeah, full days and exhausting days as Betty Hunter chucks her in the wall just before the end of it. So the podcast is on hiatus at the moment, if you haven't heard, until we get things sorted out. And yeah, that's pretty much a muchness of what's been going on with me. Waiting for my broadcasting PC to turn up, as we've called it. It's been about 5 weeks now on the ordering shelf. Apparently the RAM's not working at the moment. They're trying to fix that up. So I'm not very excited about it just yet, because how many issues we're getting with it. So, but we'll see. Hopefully it turns
Fair
up
enough.
and it's all good.
Oh, it'll come together, of course. The Locked On Lads podcast, probably the best episode ever when I was on it, but I'm sure there's plenty of other good ones outside of that.
It's the number one downloaded episode. I have no stats to back me up on that, but we'll go with it anyway.
Anecdotally, of course, but no, very, very good. And I'm looking forward to that getting back together. I had heard that, so I'm looking forward to that coming through. It always keeps me company on the drive to work, catching up with everything that is on iRacing.
Yeah, definitely. We got Ben Anthony in chat. He's giving me a bit of a rev up because I'm supposed to be in the vets tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll make it yet because my life is chaos right now. We will see how we go. Getting a V8 around Belle Isle tomorrow in Split 3. But quickly, looking at this view of the field, what's better than seeing an Xfinity car on a hill like this with some trees in the background? They're not turning left.
Oh no, I don't think there's much, particularly not. I think that the way, and I'm going to talk, I'm sure if Ed's in the chat or someone's in the chat, they'll correct me because that's what I live for. But they don't do enough circuit, and I know they're doing more circuit racing in NASCAR as a general rule, which is great because these things are awesome. They're hard to drive around here. Obviously, they've got the difficulties of lower downforce for a car that's going in 2 directions rather than just 1, or 4 directions rather than just 2, whichever way you want to argue about it. But they're great cars to see. They sound awesome, and yeah, I mean it's on the bucket list. I'd love to get over to the States and watch some of this stuff live because I reckon it'd be fantastic.
Definitely will be. Now I haven't got my grid set up working just yet because time, but Hamish Gallagher is on the front of the grid with Josh Mickelmore next to him. Matty Raymond in third as they start to roll away for what's going to be a very slow, long pace lap. Matthew Raymond third, Adam Malone next to him on fourth, Kai Turner in fifth, Luke Georgeson, very good effort there in sixth, Norman Clark, very good effort as well in seventh, Kobe Jordan in eighth, Tristan Cock in ninth, Brad Fenley in 10th, Tom Neal in 11th, Billy Hickey in 12th, Noddy Tompkins in 13th, Andrew Dyson in 14th, Tom Pritchard, who doesn't seem to be out there right now, he's supposed to be 15th, Ruben Phelps in 16th. We've got Nathan Rawlock in 17th, Raymond Yeager in 18th, Matty Hunter in 19th. Jamie Nankervis is not in the server either. Supposed to be 20th, and Justin Witcher, we mentioned him in the standings before, doing a very good job this season in 21st position.
The old dollar, which way? Where are you putting your money down tonight for the punters watching Wilco?
Oh, look, it'd be stupid for me to say anything other than Andrew Dyson right now. The fact that we don't have an Eddie Foster in here, the second choice voice himself, who's had a second almost every time I've seen him go out the last couple of races, is a shame. He really took it to him a couple of weeks ago when we went to Detroit. However, look, Road America is one of those things. Dyson likes to do it from the back of the field in a road race. Unfortunately, a night like tonight, a lot of cars are also not joining the grid. Means it's really 16th, which is 14th, which isn't that far back down the field. But there's some heavy braking zones. There's some trouble to be had out there on the track. So everything can go wrong, but he would be my number one pick. I think a Hamish Gallagher second. Actually, no, I'm going to go Josh second, Josh Mickelmore in second, and Hamish Gallagher in third at this stage. With your brilliant knowledge of Thunder from years and years of experience, where's your money on?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't diversify too much. I think Daiso, if he can get it done, if he doesn't get caught up in any of the in any shenanigans, he'll probably make his way through. But I'd always have a sneaky dollar on Matty Raymond, just because he is Mr. Consistency. That's what he's known for, Captain Clean, or as we used to call him, Mr. Sheen. So we'll see how he gets through here. He's done really well in his qualifying performance. Impressed me, actually. So we'll see how he goes. He's just a shy away from Josh Mickelmore, and of course Hamish Gallagher always strong as well. So yeah, I think it's Dyson's to lose, but it's going to be tied up at the front by the time he gets there.
Lockie Urquio in chat has just said he hears you, but circles are just fun. So this is referencing the road tracks. He's also said Ratty May to win. So
yeah, he's always a fan favourite, old Ratty May.
He is. He definitely is. I'm trying to look here to find out where these guys are. They're taking forever. This is going to be the longest outlap in history. Probably going to have the server closed down by the time we get back there, as they do the right hander onto the. That's the kink. No, that's not even the kink.
No, we're coming up to it now. We're getting there. And then, of course, there's the progress up the hill and the changes. Let's see how they get on.
Yeah. So, what have you like? You've obviously missed it. I can tell you've missed it. What have you missed the most about not being able to sit here and call the action every basically night of the week?
Well, I'll get back to that. We're about to
go live.
We're about to get underway. We're making the climb up the hill, so it's ever so slow here. They're under control of Hamish Gallagher. They'll be waiting for the light to go. They'll bunch the field up together, and we will get underway. Here it goes. We're off at Road America. 25 laps coming to Locked On Lads TV. Live here for ANZCAR Thunder Series on a Wednesday night. And Hamish Gallagher's done a great job getting down on the inside there. He's had a little bit of help there. Ratty May down the inside too. But Gallagher's going to get through in the lead. Will everyone get through cleanly here as we get through turn one? Heading down into turn two on cold tyres. It's a little bit treacherous. They're going to have to be careful as they make their way through turn two.
Yes, turn two is one of those spots that I really hate, to be honest. If you, especially on colds, you've got to brake, you've got to turn hard, and you've got to really hit that apex and get the good exit, because this is the longest straight in history just about. As you see, Matty Raymond just getting up behind Josh Mickelmore. I don't think he's going to have the dive just let. Although Luke Jorgensen behind is looking like he wants to have a go, but no, they're all played nicely into that corner, and they're going to head out. As we see, yep, all the way through the back there. All of them nice in a straight line, as Hamish Gallagher just gets a nice little lead, getting the car a little bit sideways on the colds, but getting the job done. Hopefully we see the tyres holding on. I'm getting word in 14 laps for fuel, so you can make this a one-stop race. We'll see how the tyres hold up for that one. You have any experience on Road America in an Xfinity car, just out of interest?
Zero, next to none, absolutely zilch. There's no chance in heck that my talent would get me around here in anything under than probably 5 or 6 minutes. So no, definitely not. So plenty of respect for the guys getting around through here. As we see in the background there, one of the SJM cars trying to get down the inside of, it's Billy Hickey, in fact, trying to get down the inside of Brad Finlay, and he's got it done. On the exit of the double apex sweeper leading down to this back straight. A great job there from Billy Finlay.
Yes, as we go to Canada corner here, as Brad tries to go back inside him, but he doesn't quite get make it stick, as Dice has just gone to the back. He's playing games here. You can clearly tell. He's just going right to the back, as we said. He's going to go through the field. That's not normal for him to go that far back, because Brad seems to be going slightly backwards through the field now, which A, it could just be he qualified a bit better than he thought he would, or B, he's saving a little bit of tyres, or C, both. As we've got an interesting run up behind here. Ruben Phelps and Tristan are going to go into turn one here. Who's going to pull out of this? As Tom Neal looks in the background, he bats Ruben to get around, and as Ruben does get past him, but Tom, the 80 of Noddy there. Right in front of his teammate of Nathan Rawlick as well. So that's a great effort. If we want to go to the front again, Hamish has got a 1.5 second lead out on Josh Mickelmore, who's just trying to hold off Matty Raymond and doing a very good job of that. I think we'll be seeing a lot of just settling in at the moment. and then the field will, especially when the tyres start to scrub down a little bit around about that lap, probably 5 or 6 mark, we'll start seeing some movers and shakers then. We always do Dyson watch on these these road tracks, and he just made a move actually, or I think there was a spin in front of him, and he got some positions out of that. But he's 12.5 seconds off the lead. Just keep an eye on that figure as he hovers behind Justin Witcher, going to make the job done. Ruben Phelps is doing some more moves though through the field. Give us some words on Ruben Phelps. He's been around for a very long time. We saw Skurlock get the 300 up last week. I'd say Ruben to be almost up there as well. What do you remember of Ruben Phelps? You?
Just a really, probably someone who's slightly underrated in the ANZCAR field. Very, very consistent in his performances. Just quietly goes about his business. And always, as we just see him get a little bit loose, they grab some curb on the inside on his way down the back straight. So he's now under a little bit of pressure here as well from Norm Clark in the 09. Just manages to get it through there, but yeah, just very consistent in the way that he performs. Reminds me a little bit of Luke Trahair, who make no secret to the fact he was a bit of a favourite of mine as a driver. Love the way he gets about it, but just consistently keeps himself clean. Just make sure that he's in the right position at the end there. So to be brutally honest, a circuit probably not going to favour him as much as an oval track, where a caution can come in and sort of make that clean car, that tyre conservation really come to the forefront and pay advantage at the end of a race. But you just never know what will happen here. Someone might lose it and cause a pile up or something like that, as we see 3 wide going down into turn 1 just in the background there. But a really, really consistent driver and a good participant in the ANZCAR series across the range they offer.
Yeah, definitely. I really like seeing the Locked On Lads logo appear on thing. There's Locked On Lads TV on the side of Justin, which I didn't even know that was there. So thank you for that, Justin. Looking very good back there. But he's got Dyson all over the back of him here as well, wondering when Dyson's going to pull the trigger 14 seconds off the lead. But there's some good little packs happening. I think we've got Kai Turner is finally putting some pressure on Josh Mickelmore as Hamish still continues to get out in front. So Josh has actually dropped back a spot here. Old Ratty May's got up and he's starting to make a little bit of inroads. In fact, last lap he was, or the second lap, he was 3/10 quicker than the leader at the moment, Hamish Gallagher, and he's pulling that lead that was almost out to 2 seconds back down to a 1.5 seconds. Matty Raymond's got some getting himself in some really good positions here, and we'll just see whether Josh Mickelmore's holding on to some tyres here or Kai Turner is burning them off. We had a Belle Isle a couple of weeks ago and we saw someone scoot out to the front and ended up not being very fast about halfway through the race. I think it was Wade Cheaty actually got off to Cheaty got off to a flyer and then unfortunately went back through the pack as the tyres disappeared, which will be a case tonight for someone, I'm sure.
Slap around, Matty Ray was actually fastest on track with a 2:14.9. Everyone else in the 15s and beyond. In fact, Josh just dropping into the 2:16. So we'll see how they get around this time as Hamish makes the climb up the hill. Not the hill that we're sort of used to in Australia when we talk about making the climb up the hill, but makes the climb up that crest, gets across the line there. Very consistent, 2:15.17, 15.2 last time around. So, Josh dropping into 2:15.4, so a little quicker there. But Matty Ray again, fastest on track that time around. So he is doing a good job. Question raised there, Wilco, is tyres. How's he spending them, or is he spending them too quick? But Josh is under some severe pressure here from Kai Turner, who matched him for lap pace last time around. So might just be figuring where he can get the move done on Josh. And if Josh can just control things here, he might be, as you said, playing that long game. Maybe pit a little later than everyone else if he can hold those tyres on, because he's at the moment just not at the pace quite yet. But we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, that's it. You've got a key factor here. Like I said, 14 laps for fuel, roughly. If you can get to that full 14 laps on the tyres, that gives you a solid 11 laps of tyres, which, you could have up to 3 or 4 or 5 extra laps better off tyres. We'll see what the drop-off is, but already we've seen, these guys drop off probably half a second, or not even probably a couple of tenths in the first lap. As we see Norman Clark just struggling around the back there at the moment. As Tom Neal and Andrew Dyson are just on his tail. Something's happened there. We saw Nathan Rawlock have a bit of a spin, unfortunately, before. That's put him further back. But yeah, it'll be interesting with the tyre strategy. We had a 0 stopper at Belle Isle. We'll actually get some stops this week, though, because of that fuel window. So be interested to see when people start stopping. 14 out is lap 11. We'll start to see that window open. We might see some people try and do an undercut, which is very... something very applicable tonight. Do you reckon we will see anyone pull that one off?
Well, I'm just having a look at Daiso here, and he might be one who I reckon will jump in probably a little earlier. His lap pace is not matching that of the leaders. He's probably being held up a little bit with the way that he's getting about it, but of course we all know how strong he can be. So he might be one to try and get out of the traffic and run with these front runners lap pace wise.
Yeah, this is a tough one. So he's 20 seconds off the lead. We are 20 laps to go, which means we need to win the race from here a second a lap quicker than everyone else, or just a superior pit stop may help him. But you'll see him start to pick up his pace soon. He's 2:17s at the moment as he just crosses the line there, which is still, as we said, about 2 seconds off the front runners. We'll see how that goes as we go back up the front there. Hamish Gallagher got a 2 second. It's just hovering around that 2 second lead ahead of Matty Raymond, who he was slightly quicker than last lap. But you are starting to see cars dropping off, especially in that mid pack where we go back to Billy Hickey coming down the hill here towards the big heavy braking zone. He's currently a 2:17.6, so he's definitely a little bit slower than these front guys, but otherwise doing a really good job on the back of Kobe Jordan. We'll see if he can get past him here. There's some really good braking areas, which if you want to really throw the car in there and get it stopped, there's plenty of places to overtake. That's one thing I like about Road America is long straights, plenty of chances to overtake. I've only gone around here in sort of a few other more drafty cars and brings the action together, but tonight the action is just not together. You've got Luke Georgeson.
I've got a few off down into one of those heavy braking zones with one of the didn't quite catch who it was. One of the SRM boys. I think it might have been Noddy Tompkins off in the braking zone.
He is a fair way back there. Tom Neal actually is...
and Tom Neal as well. Yeah, it was the two of them just headed off into the distance.
That happened a little bit as we see Dyson make we don't quite see it, but he's made the move on Norman Clark here, so he's moved up one position there. And I just caught Adam Malone's going a bit slower than he should be as well on this lap, which has let Luke Georgeson get up to the top 5 at the moment. It's a great job for him tonight, up one spot there into 5th position, as he's doing a great job keeping this thing straight on the track. And not making any mistakes, which is the key with a road track like this. You can see Noddy and Nathan Rawlock before, Tom Neal as well. They've all had little errors, and you can drop you up to, well, Noddy's sorry, 17 seconds slower this lap than his previous lap. As we see in the background, that would be Billy Hickey getting the job done there on Kobe Jordan, who's just slowly going backwards through the field at the moment. But the lead at the front, Hamish Gallagher, is almost pushed out to 3 seconds now. So yeah, it keeps on going, but there's little packs forming here. Andrew Dyson's made another move on Tristan. He's got past him. Last lap was a 2:17.3, as I've got stars coming in from Facebook. Sarah, thank you for that. We got our payout for stars the other day. I got 50 cents in the mail from Facebook. Thank you very much for that, Facebook. I think it was worth a little bit too much, more than you spent. But anyway, thank you for the stars. It really does help out as we're on board here with Kobe Jordan. Oh, is there any names that you miss? There's a few names not here tonight. That's the unfortunate thing. But Stu, who's the big names you miss watching?
When I look back on the time commentating all the time, the one thing that I enjoy is that I gave Edward Foster his nickname, and that's probably the thing that I look back on most fondly out of it. The Godfather. That's something that I started when we got into it. The Godfather of ANZCAR, and it would have been good to see him out here tonight because he would have had the elbows out. But no such luck at all. And of course, there's all the usual suspects. I'm sure will turn up tomorrow night. The rest of the DPR boys, Neil, and he's always one who I enjoy watching through the track, get his way through and have a crack. So yeah, there's fair few of them. I certainly miss calling it a little bit, that's for sure. But time commitments just don't allow me to do it all the time consistently. So we're just having a look here at a replay.
Yeah, I was just watching Justin Witcher just made one of those little mistakes. Like I said, it was those hard braking areas. Just went a little bit too far off. Got the tyre in the dirt. Had a half, or not even a half spin, really a quarter spin. But he's dropped down. As long as Tristan's had a similar thing happen to him at some stage as well. But Justin Witcher's doing well considering he's up 6 spots here at the moment from where he started on the grid, which is a good effort. But yeah, that did hurt him just a little bit, dropped him down a few spots in the grid. As Dyson is just hovering, he's just done a 2:14.944 last lap, which is the fastest on the track right now by one, not even, just on a 1/10 of a second. No 100th of a second. He's hovering at that 20-second mark off the lead. With 18 laps to go, he's just sitting there ready to go. Can you believe we're already 7 laps through this? This is going on so quickly. Thank you so much for joining us, not just Stu. We are, as you said, Carl, as with Ruben Phelps in front there, just has a little bit of a wide moment and lets Brad Fenley through. Yeah, obviously Carl's having troubles at the moment. We send our love out to Carl and hope he gets better soon. But thank you for jumping in last minute, mate. It's been really good.
No, absolutely. I saw that Carl was in the wars, and yeah, absolutely. A bit of love goes out to the man. I was covered in trepidation, thinking that there might be some rogue question about the first quail that ever flew across the Road America track that got run over by the left-hand rear tyre or something weird like that I'd have to answer, whoever the driver was when that happened. But no Carl tonight, but no, definitely send some love out to him. And when I saw what was going on, I reached out to the ANZCAR boys and said, if you need a hand, happy to come back and help after all the time he spent educating me about everything clockwise and counterclockwise. But yeah, hope he's doing well.
Yeah, we had him on last week. You could tell he was in pain, but the man is a miracle worker, and he always received Ruben massive, just locked up, just got on the grass there on the inside as Luke Georgeson, after I said he was going so well too, was just dropped one little mistake, dropped him right back down to 11th there. I want to quickly go back there and just have a look. I know he won't like me doing this, but it is something that I do want to see. It's Canadian corner. I assume he's just gone in way too heavy there under brakes, and I've done something similar to that where I've just forgot it was coming up and he's just gone off, and you can see how much time that's lost him just there as he gets back on. Just at the same time, Ruben had the same scary moment.
I was about to say, it was a bit of copycat there. As the 87 of Billy Hickey also looking very pacey here.
Yeah, Billy's he's going pretty well. He's been a surprise. He's been going very well the last couple of weeks. Had an unfortunate few things. He's up 3 spots.
I say, just made the move.
Yep. So he's doing a really good job. As Dyson has kicked into gear here, he's up to 7th on the grid at the moment. As Justin Witcher's had something else go on. He's coming to the pits. He's had enough. Don't know what's happened there. It can't be tyres. He might be going a 2-stop strategy here. That's the only thing I can think of. It's too early for the pit window, but maybe he's just decided he's had enough. But he's in the pits.
Jump on board with Andrew Dyson here. He is he's decided that it's time to go.
Oh. And
he's just, Brad Fenley's just run wide, just trying to make sure that he covered off Dyson there, I think, and he hasn't managed to just before the double apex. I'm a little bit ahead here, sorry folks. I'm just trying to catch up with the time. You see Dyson go there through the bridge, and he's about to get to the double right-hander as he went past Brad Fenley there.
It's very interesting. He is sitting exactly that 20-second mark off Hamish Gallagher. He's not biting into Hamish's lead, and he's not letting it go. It's like this is exactly where he wants to be. But yeah, that was a great move, Brad. Just the pressure on having Dyson in your window. We talked to Ed about that the other week, where Ed had him in his rear vision mirror for about 7 or 8 laps there before he finally got the better of him. But it's one of those things, you're looking forward, you're looking back, you missed your braking marker just ever so slightly, and yeah, you're just off, unfortunately. And as you see, Kobe Jordan's having a struggle. I could see the dust coming up in the background there. Kobe Jordan's having a terrible time here. He's not going to go in and get some fresh rubber. He's going to keep going. The interesting one to see here, like these guys are all sitting now at least 2 or 3 seconds off their best right now. So at the 9 lap mark, the window's about to open where they can get home if they get in right now. But obviously you want to make it go on as long as you can. Justin Witcher is out of the server, is another thing. So he was pulling into the pits, and I don't know what's happened there. He's just decided to let it go. So he's not coming back either.
Jump on board here with Matty Ray. Just have a look.
He has... Oh, Josh Micklemore's got back ahead of him. Look at this. Well, we're too busy watching all the action down the back.
He's struggling for tyres a little bit, Matty Ray. So Josh just bided his time there. Just going down into the tight left-hander, one of the heavy braking zones on the track. Just Matty Ray didn't make any mistakes there. Just couldn't pull it up as early as Josh did, and Josh got through cleanly. So just biding the time, you see Matty Ray there just... struggling a little bit for rear grip, and he's also coming into the grasp of Kai Turner. And I was just going to say as well, you've got Hamish Gallagher, fastest man on the track, and the man right where with him by a 10th is Andrew Dyson in 6th.
Yeah, look at it. They're pretty much matching pace right now. Like I said, it's still at 20-second mark. It's not going anywhere. Kai Turner's looking very loose, though, in the rear, but fast, even though he is loose in the rear. So I don't know whether his tyres are going to hold on too longer, but he's the back one in the 3 here, and he seems to be just, whether he's putting the foot down on the accelerator just that little bit too early, but he's very, very taily here. But Josh Micklemore hopefully should be able to get out a bit of a gap here. He's almost 7 seconds down on Hamish. Hamish is doing a great job right now. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's not making any mistakes. It'll be interesting to see when he decides to pit, because obviously that'll make a big effect on everyone else, as we see Josh extending that lead over Matty Raymond right now, and you see just way down of the distance already. Hamish had already gone into turn 1, so that's how big the gap was at the moment. It'll be interesting to see Dyson last lap. Let's have a look as he goes across. The 2:17 flat versus the 2:16.77 from Hamish. Hamish is putting in some great times at the moment, considering we're 10 laps into a set of tyres right now.
Yeah, absolutely is. And the entry, if you haven't watched much racing at Road America, the entry here is a little tricky as well. If we can jump on, if we can get that, okay, you're talking about that sort of critical lap. Hopefully we can jump on board with someone as they make their way into pit entry. Oof. Because it is a tough one. It's probably one of the toughest ones, other than maybe Sandown, because you're flying up the hill, and then all of a sudden you hit the crest, and there's some cones that greet you. You got to jump on the picks and make sure you get it pulled up in time. So we'll try and bring that to you as well. That might play a factor tonight on the old tyres. Someone maybe misjudging it slightly and running the gauntlet into pit lane.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those ones you can get a not a slowdown. You can get a pit penalty for speeding in that very, very easily. You can also come out of that final corner just thinking about pitting and put that tyre on the outside dirt. As I said, there's dirt everywhere, grass everywhere right on the exits. It's ready to grab you, and I've seen many a car thinking about pit entry come out of that final corner and come a guts there into the wall, and usually take someone with them when they do it. As we're on board with Dyson, Dyson's left Adam Malone behind as he moves up to the top 5, still 20 seconds off the lead. Going fairly well though, I think, for his standards, where he wants to be. He's got it all planned out. Hamish Gallagher up in front, 7 seconds away. This battle pack for second though is looking mighty interesting. As you see there, Matty, his car doesn't want to stay straight, and see Kai Turner there, that exit, his rear end just wants to jump out. We just go past that pit entry back there before. But this is going to be an interesting little pack, because I think these guys are pretty well matched for pace tonight.
Yeah, absolutely they are. So I think pit stop strategy, tyre conservation, that last, if they get to that limit, which it looks like they're going to probably do, if you've got a little bit of pace and you're getting held up, maybe Turner might think about, or as he locks up there going in to turn 1, so maybe not. He's trumped what I was about to say. I thought maybe he might think about
I'm just
running
wondering, are you on
that lap
replay
longer.
still?
No. I'm looking at the live feed there.
Okay. I got Kai Turner, and he's on the back. He's on the straight at the moment.
Yeah, on the straight with Matty Ray there, but
Yeah,
that little lock-up he had, I was going to say, he might think about running a lap longer than Matty Ray if he can, if his tyres are good enough to get that pace, because it looks like he's still being held up a little bit here. Matty might have spent too many coins a little earlier on in the race.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting one. It's very much the undercut and the overcut are very important things right now. He's not able to get the job done on Matty Ray. He's not quite close enough at those overtaking points on the track, which are those big heavy braking spots. You can see Josh is just ducked away from this crew at the moment as we go from his rear and have a look at back to these two. The long sweeping right-hander, he needs to get a good exit off that, Kai does, but yeah, he should be able to get it done in the pits, theoretically. Might even be able to just sit back and fuel save just a little bit, Kai, as we're going around these corners, and maybe not have to splash just as much fuel in here. But as we are currently in the window now, if you do stop here, theoretically, from what I understand, you can get home. So we will keep an eye out for those people who are going to try and make the move and try and make some positions up. You see Kai's car just does not want to stay straight there at all.
He's still managing to pull it up well, though, so it's a good drive from both drivers. For Matty Ray and Kai's still got pace over Matty Ray, but you know it can be a difficult place to pass,
yes,
particularly.
Let's go on board with him. Press the gyro. We come up here. You can see that yellow, which is that right there. That's the interesting spot there. You're coming up, you're looking at everything, and yeah, you do need to make sure you get it pulled up by that witch's hat as he watches Dyson go past on the outside as he gets his new set of tyres. So it'll be interesting to see how long his time is on pit lane for starters, but then also where he comes out and where Matty Raymond's going to be as he pulls into the stop right now.
It's pulled up relatively well, so doesn't miss his box or do anything silly like that. So there you go.
This is all important now. We go back to Matty Ray. This is all important for him now, as he needs to not make a single mistake out here on the track. So this lap's all important. If he if he goes a few more laps, then even that's more important. No mistakes here, otherwise he'll find himself overtaken by Kai straight away. Just quickly, Andrew Dyson's now 18 seconds off the lead. He's just done a 2:15.85 versus Hamish's 2:17.2. He's starting to pull the gap back right now.
I just wonder, without that pressure, if Matty Ray will be able to refocus and maybe put in a couple of good laps here before he ducks into pit lane. It wouldn't surprise me if he jumps in this lap, because of course he's got that cat and mouse game now as he gets a big drift on there, manages to catch it, but there's that cat and mouse game now because of course Turner will come out of the pits on fresh boots. He'll have half a lap or so to get those warmed up, and then he should, all things remaining the same, be able to lap a little quicker than Matty Ray. So you don't want to stay out too long, particularly when the gap was so close when he ducked into pit lane.
So 46.8 seconds is the transit time. I've got 14 seconds he was on the pit box for. This is Kai Turner. He's out back on track behind Tristan Cock at the moment. 49 seconds off the lead. So theoretically, he's making up ground already. But I did notice Matty Ray, as you said, he's having a good lap this lap. He's putting the effort in. Will he pull in now? We will see him come in now. Yes. Now let's go from the chopper above as he climbs up this hill.
So that's where it gets difficult. You can see that fold in the road there. That's where that crest is. Unsettles the car a little bit, particularly if you jump on the brakes beforehand. So it's a real delicate balancing act, and it's made more complicated by the cars that the boys are in tonight. So he's done well there.
Yeah, as we go on the board with the blimp here and see Matty Ray's pit stop from that angle, as he should have. We've got a few other cars joining him, including one. Andrew Dyson has come in as well. Brad Fenley goes around on the outside there. Adam Malone has joined him as well. Billy Hickey's coming in. They all think that this is the time they're going to come in. But the one we need to watch right now is Kai Turner. Where is he on the track? He's coming around the back here. He's got one more turn. He's coming into the final turn. Now, by the look of it, no, he's going past. That's pit lane.
Yeah, he's done another. He's off. He's off for another lap. So he's gone through. Sorry, he's off for his lap. He's gone through, and there is a huge gap.
Massive gap. That's
huge gap between himself and Matty Ray. So I reckon he might have just Matty Ray maybe just got a better entry there into pit lane, because it didn't look like there was a lot that went wrong. Certainly he pulled up at the box well, Turner, and got out of the lane. Nothing extra that you can imagine. Maybe a windscreen tear off.
Have a look at the front of Kai Turner's car there. That didn't look like that before. I think he's had an off somewhere.
Oh, he must have. Yeah, good pickup. Absolutely.
Because Dyson's also got past him as well in pit lane, which is very interesting there as well. But yeah, I reckon Kai Turner will have to go back and have a look, but his front end of his car is not looking the best right now. Brad Fenley has had a stop. No, he went through. He's one of the ones that hasn't stopped. So there's 3 of them that haven't stopped right now. Josh Micklemore, Brad Fenley, and Hamish Gallagher. Maybe some of the others haven't stopped either through the field, but they're your main ones at the moment up the top there, the top 3. As Hamish pushes it for another lap yet again, going at 2:17.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, 2:17.
It's got to be this lap.
Yeah.
Got to be this lap he's going to come in.
You would have to think so. He would, just out of interest, Dyson just came into the pits, so it's hard to tell. 56 seconds, 57 seconds between him. Dyson really pushes. Kai.
No. Kai Turner says, anything you can do, I can do better.
That's
and
it.
Just says, Jim, I'll give you a hand and mow some grass. Wowzers.
That is definitely one way to do it. But Dyson's 56 seconds off the lead at the moment. Hamish Gallagher, we said it was a 46, 47 second transit time as Josh Micklemore is into the pits. So he's making the call right now. Brad Fenley's going through yet again. So Hamish is 55 seconds ahead of Andrew Dyson. I think this is where the race really is right now.
So Hamish must have saved throughout that first stint as well. We're at 14. So he's definitely done a better job throughout that first stint, which obviously when you're in the lead and you're just managing the gap, he would have been able to save some fuel around here, as well as the tyre. A decent track for fuel saving, of course, with the nice long straights that you get the benefit of, and those rolling corners. So he's done a great job here. No surprise at all, given his experience, and I think he's going to be tough to beat here. Also, obviously on pace, doing what he can do, but it's tough here. Obviously, as well. Just looking. Matty Ray's jumped Josh Micklemore in the pit transit too. So there's a change for position there. He's up into P2, effectively.
Effectively P2. Once Brad comes into the pits, that's a very good pickup. Yes. He's only 47 seconds off Hamish as well. So he's right on that transit time. Obviously, his tyres are extremely good. As we're on board here with Hamish, we assume he's going to come in. Just having a look at how much pressure he's putting on this car as he angles in to pit lane here, and here it is. This is the race right now. Will we see a new change for lead? It's interesting though, he had 7 seconds on the field before, so it would be hard to see Matty's pulled up 7 seconds in 3 laps, but he could have done it.
Tires, maybe the tires just going off that little bit. I didn't check back actually for Hamish's last full lap. But I'm just having a quick look at it now.
Kai Turner did a 2:15.2 last lap. So
and Matty Ray at 2:17.1.
Hamish has gone past pit box.
Oh, that's going to cost him.
That's cost him
that
big
might
time.
be the lead. That might be the lead.
Yeah,
you know what?
Up in the corner of the screen. I want to quickly just have a look at that one again.
He's out. He's still got to do 2 tires, and that's going to be it.
This is all important. Sorry, we'll get back to you.
Oh, no. Oh, did he? No, he got it pulled up. Oh, no, he did. You're right. Wilco, good pickup. Absolutely. He must have just gone over too. but
As
he
he's
has.
come
And
back out on the track behind Matty Raymond. Wow.
That's it. And tyre differential here, not huge.
No, not at all. This is a huge win for Matty Raymond. Josh Micklemore behind there as well. You can see there, what a shot. Andrew Dyson hovering in the background.
It is. This is on. This is absolutely on. The last 3 or 4 laps of this are going to be really, really interesting. Hamish will have the bit between his teeth.
Matty. I've never seen Matty get nervous, but that was a very nervous stop. His car was every which way but straight.
He'll be looking in the rearview mirror and he'll have Diet Coke and how does it slip me? Taylor Swift all over his mind at the moment.
That's
in
it.
a Tay-Tay. But you know, you can see Hamish pushing though, because Hamish has grabbed the inside curb there, not normally a place you'd see the car. And Matty Ray hopefully can get a breather through here, but that 13 looking strong. And of course, you've got Josh Micklemore in the background as well, in the blue meanie, just making his presence felt.
Yes, with 10 to go, Andrew Dyson sitting behind there as well. It's interesting to see Kai Turner could have been up here in this pack. I reckon he would have right in this race if he didn't have that little off, unfortunately. But this is going to be a fascinating last 10 laps. Hamish, I think, will want to be in front as quick as he can so he can jump ahead, because Dyson's obviously coming up, but he's still got to make his way through these people, which will slow him down as much as he can. 10 laps to go. He wants to put as much time between him, these two, as they can. But how would you be feeling, Hamish, right now? It's him that's made the mistake. No one else. He's missed his pit box, one of those silly mistakes. What would be going through his head right now, Stu?
He'd probably be thinking about the end of Jurassic Park, to be honest. Be like, this is like the freaking end scene always, where the T-Rex fights whatever it is and ends up making its way through. And he's like, the T-Rex is on its way. Andrew Dyson in the background. I needed everything to go the way that it needed to, so I had a nice, comfortable gap. And now he's, spending tyre fighting with Matty Ray at the front of the field. So he'll obviously be virtually kicking himself a little bit, but he's got the work to do. And Dyso now, you'd have to say probably in the box seat, 2.6 behind, and Matty Ray defending well. So it's all to do.
Yeah, you can see Matty Ray come onto that straight. The first job he had in his mind was, I'm going to get down the covering the inside for about a kilometre out from turn 1. He's definitely on the defensive right now. You see Hamish wants to make that car look as wide in his rear vision mirror as he can, as it gets pretty wide and wobbly.
Wow.
If you just jump, I think we've got to jump back here for a second and just watch Dyson's on the back of Micklemore here going for a podium spot. That'll be about the 3rd time we've talked to Dyson in as many weeks here, if he can get up on this podium. So I don't think it's far away from happening. But
yeah, he's done plenty of clean sweeps around the circuit stuff on ANZCAR, so it wouldn't be a first time he's been on the podium. I think it was Circuit of the Americas.
Yes, he smashed.
Where last year he did a clean sweep across all 3 series seasons as Josh Micklemore just makes some room there and just lets him go on through. So Josh, plenty of experience, understands accumulation wins championships, not individual results. So just let him through there.
Yeah, definitely. He wasn't going to. As you see Josh coming out of that corner in the rear vision mirror there at the kink, very nose pointing in towards that wall, but on the inside of the track, which is an interesting spot to be. I don't know how he did that, but yeah, he's definitely more worried about. He's happy to come home 4th here, and that is where he'll be unless something happens up the front here, because Hamish is putting on the work here on Matty Ray, and really wants to get in front as quick as he can, because he can now see Dyson with getting a little bit of sideways action coming out of the final turn there, as they both.
Sorry, mate.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, Matty Ray doing an amazing job here. You can get caught just watching the rearview mirror and not driving, and I think he's just settled down a little bit here after that early bit, where he was definitely watching the rearview mirror, braking at about the 350 metre board. But he's just got his rhythm back now, and he's just struggling to pull it up a little bit there. But you can just see Hamish pushing real hard here into the braking zone. So the next opportunity is going to be down in the next braking zone. So the exit of the corner prior, really, really important. You get the benefit of some of the draft here, but of course that makes braking a little bit difficult in these cars. No aero really at all. And down on the inside, Matty Ray will try and defend, gets out wide there to hold him up, and there's nothing. As long as he keeps doing that, there's absolutely nothing Hamish can do to try and make his move through here. And of course, in the back of Matty's mind, if he's thinking that far ahead, oh, there's a mistake. There's a big mistake there from Hamish, and that creates some pressure. I was just about to talk about. Andrew Dyson is going to be bearing down on the back of Hamish Gallagher, and Matty Ray must be thinking once he gets there's going to be some pressure on him to defend as well, and that's my opportunity. So Matty Ray here done a great job, and now Hamish under pressure from Andrew Dyson.
That's it, and it'll be interesting to see if Hamish can catch that, make that room back up now on Matty Ray when he's really looking in the rear vision mirror. It'll also be interesting to see what happens when Dyson actually catches up to these two, how much of an effort they both put on. I'm assuming they'll both want to fight for position, but they're not going to just hand it away to him very easily. But that's a costly error. But you see how much he's made that gap back up already, which is a telling statistic right now on how much Hamish is being held up by Matty Raymond, which he'll be frustrated with immensely as he gets sideways out of that corner as well. Canada corner has almost cost another one again as we get on top here of Hamish. You see how much his car's squirreling around right now. He wants to get a really good exit and get a really good run up this hill because he's got that car behind him and he's got the car in front of him. Both of them he wants to be ahead of. But be interested to see what Dyson can do and where he picks to try and make his move, because you don't want to take out, you don't want to ruin a race at this point of the race, ruin your race at this point of the evening by making a silly move and taking out yourself and someone else as we come down.
So you've been hanging out with Carl a little bit as well there, with squirreling coming up into the commentary, mate. That's a Carl term if I've ever heard one. There's a little bit of damage on the front of Dyson's car.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think he got quite early on in the race. We saw him do a lap time that was about a 2:20 odd early on when he was making his way through the traffic, and that is hurting him a little bit in straight line speed. He's now managed to catch the draft of Gallagher, but there's not tons of it available in these cars either. So he just sort of loses a little bit, and then Hamish made those couple of mistakes which brought him back into it, and now